All right, let's get right into it. When you're looking at new software for your business, the biggest question isn't really about features or even the cost. It's about fear, right? The fear of what it's going to do to your day-to-day operations. So, we're about to walk through the Shedmate Onboarding Plan, a process that was literally built from the ground up to get rid of that fear completely.
And these are exactly the questions you should be asking. I mean, you've got a business to run. You have orders that have to get out the door and a team that's finally in a groove. The absolute last thing you need is some new tool that just throws a giant wrench in the works and brings everything to a grinding halt. These worries are 100% valid, and they are the very first thing this whole process is designed to solve.
And this just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's never just about learning a few new buttons on a screen. It's that deep, gut-level fear that bringing in something new will actually break what you've worked so hard to build. That's why this entire philosophy is built around tackling that one central problem, the threat of disruption.
So, let's just name the enemy here. It's disruption. Now, let's talk about the strategy we use to neutralize that operational risk right from day one. And I'm not talking about minimizing risk, I'm talking about taking it completely off the table.
So here's the secret sauce. It's this simple but incredibly powerful idea. There is no flip-the-switch moment. We don't shut anything down. Your current workflow, your spreadsheets, your design tools, whatever you're using, it just keeps going, exactly as it is. Shedmate gets introduced alongside it, running in parallel. This way, you can test, you can compare, you can validate everything without ever stopping your business for a single second.
And look at the difference here. I mean, it's night and day. The typical software rollout forces this big, scary migration. That means downtime, that means high risk. The Shedmate method, it's the exact opposite. Because we run in parallel, there's no forced move, there's absolutely zero downtime, and that operational risk, well, it's neutralized. It's a fundamental shift in how you upgrade your business.
Okay, so if we're running in parallel, how does this whole thing stay on track and actually get done? Well, it's not random. This isn't just winging it. The entire process is guided by a structured framework that puts a solid, correct implementation way ahead of a rushed one.
And the plan is anchored by this number, 21 days. Now, this isn't some arbitrary deadline we just pulled out of a hat. It's a structured sprint. It gives you a concrete, totally manageable time frame that says, hey, if you can commit to a focused effort, you can have a fully structured system in just 3 weeks.
We call this the GPS framework. Think about it. You wouldn't start a cross-country drive by just heading west and hoping for the best, right? You'd use a map, a GPS. This is the exact same idea. It's not about aimlessly clicking around and trying to figure it out. It is a guided step-by-step plan with a clear, predictable path to your destination, a fully operational system.
Let's see how this actually plays out. Day 1, you start in parallel. Your current workflow is totally safe, nothing changes. Now, by the middle phase, say day 7 to 14, you're not just playing around with fake data. No, you're using real jobs. That quote you sent out yesterday, you're using it to compare the outputs and validate the results side by side. So by day 21, the system's proven and ready for wider use, all based on real results you've seen with your own 2 eyes.
And here's a really crucial point. While 21 days is the target, the plan is flexible. Life happens. If a massive order comes in and you need to pause for a couple of days, the process simply stretches. Nothing breaks. The structure holds. The only real requirement is that commitment, 2 focused hours a day to just keep that steady, consistent progress moving forward.
All right, let's talk about the real work. Because in any software implementation, the hardest part is almost never learning the software itself. It's about getting your company's data organized and ready to go.
This is so important to understand right from the start. Shedmate itself is designed to be intuitive. The real work, and honestly, the real opportunity for a huge leap forward, comes from finally structuring the core information that actually runs your business.
So what data are we talking about here? Well, it's the lifeblood of your operation, right? It's your material pricing, your true cost structures, all those scattered Excel sheets, the ones I'm talking about, living on 3 different computers, and all those historical assumptions you've been running the business on for years. This process is the perfect catalyst to finally get all of that organized. And this is the perfect way to think about that work. Instead of seeing data cleanup as this annoying hassle, you need to see it as immediate ROI. I mean, messy data creates errors and blind spots. Structured data, that gives you control, visibility, and true operational maturity. This isn't a distraction from your work. It's a fundamental upgrade to your business.
Okay, let's tackle the last big fear, team adoption.
What if you do all this work and your team just doesn't use it? The answer is simple. This is not a team-led experiment. This is a leadership-controlled operational upgrade.
Here's how you stay in the driver's seat the entire time. 1. You drive it. You decide who starts and when. 2. You test before you trust. You use real quotes and real jobs to validate every single number. 3. You scale on proof. Nobody starts using it widely until you see the results you need. And 4. The team learns by doing real work, not by sitting through hours of boring, abstract training sessions.
And through all of this, you and your team are never on your own. You're not just being thrown to the wolves here. The system is packed with guided walkthroughs, short, practical videos, a full resource center, and direct support access to make sure learning is seamless and happens right in the flow of work.
So when you bring all of these pieces together, the parallel operation, the guided GPS framework, the focus on data maturity, and that complete leadership control, it becomes pretty clear that this is something very, very different from your typical software rollout.
This one sentence really captures the whole philosophy, and every single word there is intentional. It's not a rollout, it's an upgrade. It's not disruptive, it's controlled. And it's not some sudden shock to the system, it's a structured, parallel process.
So what's the final outcome of all this? What's the new reality for your business? Well, you stay in complete control. Your operation keeps running without a single hiccup. Your data becomes a structured, powerful asset. And your team adopts the new system based on undeniable proof, not because of top-down pressure.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Are you just looking for another tool to add to the pile, or are you ready for a true operational upgrade? Because this entire process was designed for leaders who are ready for that upgrade.